We back, man. Let's see if it's even gonna work. See how this working right now, man. I'm trying to stream from my Consciously Speaks Backup page on Facebook, so we're gonna see if it's even going. Nah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So hold on. Let's do this real fast. Edit. You take that off. Delete that from Facebook. Real quickly now. We good, man. Yeah, so I know I've been having this up for a couple days now. Today we're gonna be getting into the understandings of alpha male, kind of getting into the history, the origins of the concept of being an alpha male. We're gonna be using Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, as a nice source of a teachable moment. You feel me? Education is elevation, and the truth will set you free. I ain't gonna be long-winded at all on this introduction. We're gonna get straight into it. Let me see. Straight into it. Starting off with, some claims about men, particularly, strong men being alpha males. We're gonna let it roll.
Dr. Umar, it's rumored that you have more than one wife. I don't know if that's true or not.
I've never been married.
Oh, okay. That wasn't.
But I will have 2 queens.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So is polygamy more realistic?
I think we have to understand.
He's never been married, but he will have 2 queens. And he said it so elegantly and poetically, it's almost baffling, because he also makes a lot of claims, to make sure my mom is right. He also makes a lot of claims about how we should marry, and particularly, make sure we all marry Black women, because Black women are so plentiful and 3-to-1 and X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z. But he is proud to say that he is not married, never been married, ain't like 50-some years old or something like that. But really thinking about this, the point I'm bringing up right now is just contradictions. This will be a reoccurring theme in this video, the contradictions, but I'll let it keep on rolling and going.
Monogamy is not natural to alpha males. This is not only true.
Monogamy is not natural to alpha males. Monogamy is not natural to alpha males. Remember that claim in a few minutes.
That's when you lost me there, man. This is not only true amongst human beings, even within the animal kingdom.
Okay.
The alphas tend to have more than one spouse. And if you also look at women, as much as they may chide polygyny, many women will date an alpha male with another woman if she's attracted to him. Just look at the amount of women who date married men, but at the same time say they're against plural marriage.
On my mama and them, some would argue that making this statement and claim about women dating married men comes off as being misogynistic. I think for intents and purposes of this video, and just supposing what Dr. Umar Johnson is implying in this argument, we also recognize there are a lot of single men that go after married women. So when we start making claims about these animalistic metaphors and how this can explain away how we desire as humans, we see that it comes short in terms of having this metaphor that can explain away the complexities of human desire and human attraction. But we'll let the video keep on going.
Whenever a dude quotes the animal kingdom when he's talking about sex, that dude's
Can animals be gay? That's when I was surprised to find out that research says, and I quote, no species have been found in which homosexuality does not exist. So there's a part of the animal kingdom that's truly bisexual. For them, homosexuality is not an issue.
So think about it. You use the animal kingdom to talk about the heterosexual nature of men being able to have multiple women. At the same time, you understand and ignore the ways in which the animal kingdom shows how homosexuality or same gender loving is natural within the animal kingdom. full transparency, this video was supposed to be edited and it's supposed to be at the end, and we start with the alpha male stuff or whatever. But you know, we'll just go through it this way. This right here is just illustrating the ways in which contradictions are made by a lot of alpha males trying to use canine hierarchies, trying to use animal hierarchies to try to explain the ways in which they should be heterosexual, heteronormative, and be able to dominate and capture as much women as possible. We recognize, just like what this video is showing,
male giraffes will have sex with other males for various reasons, including dominance, competition, or just greetings. We're going to show you why being gay is natural. The flamingo whilst Lance was seen on his own. Did you know that dolphins have lesbian sex? Scientists have discovered that dolphins frequently engage in same-sex sexual activities and even use their long tapered snouts for lesbian sex. Good for them. Jonathan, the blind, gay, sex-crazed giant tortoise, is now the oldest to have ever lived. Jonathan is 190 years old and lives in St. Helena in the southern Atlantic Ocean. Despite not being able to smell and being blind, his three favourite activities are food, sleep, and sex. Jonathan has been with his partner for 3 decades and isn't strictly monogamous either. Are 90% of giraffes gay? According to the Natural History Museum, up to 95% of sexual activity between giraffes are homosexual.
95%?
Is far more
Female. True.
It's a part that right here.
In nature.
This is what I think that video illustrated to simplify what the point of showing different instances in the animal kingdom of different attractions that's outside of the heterosexual spectrum. The point is right here.
Homophobia that's not. Animals like bears, elephants, giraffes, dogs, lions all display homosexual traits. There should be no surprise to see it in humanity. It's very natural. In Native American history, these were known as gifted beings. They were known as gatekeepers, two-spirited beings, because they could understand the perspective of both male and female. These beings only came around in communities when there was an imbalance between masculine and feminine energy. They're what you would call oracles. They came to restore balance. These beings are not to be casted out, but to be learned from. Make sure y'all share this video. Reflect the light from the Most High Chief Babaji. Peace to God. Allah Mashallah.
We see that a lot of individuals, especially when you conform to the alpha male concepts, you really just perpetuating European concepts of what it means to be a man or what it means to display your masculinity. And for me, just when you think about it, Dr. Umar Johnson proclaims himself to be King Kong of consciousness. What does it mean for the King Kong of consciousness, the Prince of consciousness, the Prince of pan-africanism, to make animalistic claims about your masculinity while also acknowledging the ways in which white supremacy has been able to justify violence to black men based off of them having an animalistic understanding of how we exert our manhood? So to me, it's just really almost a catch-22. And it's also showing you in this next video is that the whole mantra, the whole concept, the whole idea of being an alpha male, how it's not only empirically false, but we see how it's for a lot of males to overcompensate for what it means to be a man by trying to emulate their manhood like a damn wolf. Let's get into it, though. Education is elevation.
This whole alpha male hierarchy, because to be quite honest, we know that it's a myth that has been debunked a multitude of times. We know that it's something that even the creator of the hierarchy itself, his name is David Meck. He's a wildlife biologist, which that always has bothered me. So y'all out here clown down over a wildlife biologist. G. Bull's not even a psychologist. He's not a psychiatrist. Bull's not even a sociologist. He's not an anthropologist. No, he's a wildlife biologist who utilize a psychological, because when human beings attempt to...
So this is what I recognize. A lot of pseudo-intellectuals that like to talk about misandry or talk about being an alpha male and try to, you feel me, justify a whole bunch of, of a sexual conquering based off of the concept of being an alpha male. They've never really researched where it come from. You feel me? And they don't recognize that it comes from animals being in captivity. So when Umar Johnson says that naturally alpha males want to do X, Y, and Z, we see that the claim saying alpha males do anything natural is already being turned on its head. Naturally, wolves are not in captivity. When we acknowledge that the entire alpha male analysis comes from viewing wolves that were in captivity, what does it mean to make the claim that alpha males naturally have to have multiple partners? Something to think about.
Are attempting to understand.
And to be clear, shout out to all the polyamorous, polyandry individuals. This is not no disrespect to that lifestyle and or that identity. This is acknowledging the heteronormative hypocrisy and or contradictions in talking about animal kingdom and how the animal kingdom relates to how humans operate and how humans, you feel me, go to each other. And what I'm trying to kind of illustrate there's a slippage between these two things. But we're going to hopefully this makes more sense by the time the video is over with.
Outside of ourselves, we do something called transposing. We also do something called anthropomorphizing. Transposing is putting characteristics that we have onto things that do not share those same characteristics in order for us to understand them. So basically, humans will transpose onto dogs by saying, "Oh, he's smiling," when in reality, the dog just, you feel me, the dog is trying to catch his breath. Anthropomorphizing is adding human elements to things that are not human, right? So if Mr. David Meck wrote this theory in the 1970s, it is very, very plausible.
A lot of, hey, listen, one of the things I should take from this video right here, a lot of individuals that talk about alpha males and alpha females, not old bullshit, you are lost in the sauce of anthropomorphizing non-human things and trying to explain them away from a human perspective. You feel me? That right there to me shows that you don't want to really invest in the complexity of the human experience, and instead you want to explain it away with trying to center how humans understand and go. Like dogs smiling. Stop playing.
That he was projecting some of his own insecurities and some of the things that were going on in the socio-cultural zenith at that time onto these animals. And we as men ate that shit.
There is no...
As a teacher, as a professor, as an educator, I like to reiterate the lesson sometimes. So that came from a black male perspective, kind of the myths around alpha male, the way that it is empirically constructed, though it's false. And I know sometimes, you know, when it's put that way, it might go over people's heads. I know from an educational standpoint, when you're able to give individuals access to multiple different alternatives that teach the same lesson, maybe the lesson hits a little better. So, you know, this is, you know, one of the homies right here. That was Professor Odie, the individual that went. This right here, you know, this voodoo baby. We're gonna just let this marinate in your spirits. How Country Wayne say.
As an alpha male, I am so glad that you asked this question because it is such a teachable moment. The term alpha male was created by an author named David Meck, who wrote a book in the 1970s called The Wolf, The Ecology and Behavior of an Endangered Species. He studied wolves in captivity and noticed aggressive behavior from the males towards each other and the pack in an effort to dominate, and he called them alpha males. Years later, in 1999, the same author came back and debunked his own theory and, in fact, begged the publisher to stop creating and printing his...
The scholar, the researcher that created the alpha male concept, that created the alpha male archetype, has spent the rest of his life trying to tell people that he was wrong. It is too many fake ass intellectuals that claim that they love to be truthful and claim they love to do research that is still pushing the misinformed idea of an alpha male. Just like us as black people can recognize that crabs in a barrel, crabs in a bucket is not their natural environment. The whole idea of being an alpha male comes from wolves in captivity. Just like it is preposterous to claim what black people do is the same as crabs being in a bucket while ignoring that the natural environment or habitat for a crab is not a bucket is the same as ignoring that the way in which these animals reacted to each other was in captivity, and in nature, animals are not in captivity. Wolves are not in captivity. So instead of projecting the insecurities to be able to explain away your manhood, let's just kind of go inward and understand the ways in which we can be man, the ways in which we can be masculine, the ways in which we can, show how we define ourselves as being men. Not a wolf, not a dog, not a lion. And this is being said too with nuance in respect to a lot of indigenous cultures that have things like totem poles, or think about, you feel me, they animal spirits, or think about, alter egos. It's still recognizing most of y'all that talk about the alpha male shit, you're not coming at it from that perspective at all. You're doing it in a way to justify fuck shit. A lot of reasons, one of the reasons why a lot of black men that be on pro-black shit like myself get bad raps for being hoteps, because we do exactly what Dr. Umar do right there. Use your intellect, your gift of gab, to justify some wild shit that sexually benefits you at the expense of black women. Keep on going though.
How did he do that? He studied wolves in the wild. And in their natural state, they did not exude this aggressive behavior and need to dominate. So you see, most self-proclaimed alpha males are the most emotionally immature and aggressive, because they are attempting to mimic behavior that only happens in captivity and not in their natural state. This is what we know as toxic masculinity. The alpha male does not exist. So again, I challenge you to break free from those colonized chains and captivity that you are in and return to your natural state. Bless your heart.
Hold on though. So I see Kenyon says that Dr. Umar explained what he meant in another video. My motto is education is elevation. And unless he gave you a transparent analysis that shows you that Dr. Peck was wrong about this whole concept of alpha males, I think that he was continuing to deceive and mislead. This also goes to show too, I'm not saying that Dr. Umar Johnson is wrong in every instance. This right here is a damn good instance though, when he not only dead wrong, but is pushing misinformation that I believe is parasitic to not only black men, but the black community writ large. So when you say he explained what he meant, is he telling you that the structure and concept of being an alpha male, it comes from captivity? Is he telling you that? Is he telling you that the way in which we should relate to women or relate to other people is how wolves related to each other in captivity? I think that's a bad model of relation, a bad model of community, a bad model of being pro-black, especially in my mind. Like, listen, if you call yourself the King Kong of consciousness and the Prince of pan-africanism, it's weird the ways in which Dr. Umar uses either A, European resources and doctrines to try to make pro-black claims, or B, how we use white scholars to try to make pro-black claims. You feel me? Listen, Dr. Peck, he wasn't talking about no alpha male in the name of empowering black men. You feel me? Dr. Peck wasn't talking about no alpha male in terms of shit, black men, how we always already feared. So when you use this analysis about, you feel me, this generic alpha male that is devoid of a racial analysis, what are you really saying for black men? What are you really saying for black boys? When you talk about being a psychologist and then you talk about the DSM, the Diagnostic Statistic Manual, and you use the DSM to make claims about homosexuality or transness, and you make it like this is the great arbiter of truth, I find that funny. I find it contradicting, because the DSM authors are not pro-black, they're not pan-Africanists. So what does it mean to say that this right here is the truth and how black folks should understand themselves? So when I'm showing you videos and how within nature, you feel me, within multiple species, you feel me, in freedom, not in captivity, that we see things like polygamy, we see, you know what I'm saying, lesbianism, we see, you feel me, homosexuality, homophobia, see homophobia, well, how y'all understand nature and shit, you see what I'm saying? But that's the word though. We trying to, you feel, when I say education is elevation, you see it on the hoodie, I'm trying to increase your vocabulary and increase the ways in which you understand the world and understand yourself. It's too many individuals that understand themselves from a hierarchy of canines based in captivity. Just like you're not going to base your understanding of being black, of being proud of your heritage around a crab in a bucket, because you recognize that's not the natural habitat, you should also be mindful of what you say and what you do. So when we try to relate as black men to black women, how white men relate to white women, we don't see the issue with that. I think that's weird. That's weird, actually. You know, it's like going back to the term I said, some of y'all familiar with the videos. I made a video today earlier. You feel me? Check it out about the ethnocentric understandings of how a lot of black folks is lost in the sauce of American centric perspectives. Check it out. Getting back to this alpha male talk though, right? What I know is that instead of us taking the time, effort, and energy to explore the ways in which our manhood, masculinity, the way we define what it means to be man, the way that is, you feel me, all around us and fluid and always transcendent and always doing this, we would rather come up with these static notions of what it means to be man. This is something that's important, right? When Dr. Peck is making an analysis about how wolves are being aggressive to each other, and he acknowledges the uniqueness of the aggressiveness being based in captivity, what does this tell you about black men when we are in spaces that we're held captive in? So when we bring up notions of like black on black crime or gun violence, and we try to talk about the uniqueness of black men killing each other at higher rates, how much are we thinking about the environment and how the environment is able to damn near structure how we relate to each other? If Dr. Peck can recognize the distinction between wolves being in captivity, how they're related to each other, and wolves not being in captivity, how they're related to each other, us as black men have to also, to me, be able to create those distinctions and recognize that there are ways for us to relate to each other outside of the captivity that we are stuck in or that we're put into. Recognizing there are other ways that we can relate to each other outside of an animalistic metaphor. Also recognizing when it comes to the masculinity of gay men, the masculinity of trans men, that we recognize that masculinity is there. And that we don't try to trivialize that based off some weird captive understanding of wolves. This is what I know being born and raised in the hood, man. A lot of us are indoctrinated to exert our manhood through the lens of domination and power, meaning we always understand that we can exemplify our manhood and masculinity by dominating other things and people around us, even if it's men, women, gender nonconforming, babies, it don't matter. And I think that when we think about it from a animalistic standpoint, you feel me? I think we get to tap into a history or legacy that's already come before us. When I was in college, I got an undergraduate degree in African American studies. And when I was getting that degree, I was in this course where I read some work from Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells spoke about the anti-lynching campaigns, right? In the Ida B. anti-lynching campaign, she spoke about how the sexual reality was a lot different from the sexual political. How the sexual reality was black men being not only lynched at alarming rates for being animalistic and not being able to control our manhood and not having no self-control, we also recognized that black women were being, trigger warning, raped at record high numbers, with the political, you feel me, shit that was trying to push was saying that black men were raping white women when in actuality was a difference. My point is, what does it mean to always already try to explain your manhood through this animalistic way? What that mean? So is your manhood in question when you don't be aggressive? I don't know, man. I don't know. What do I know, man? I'm just sitting here. Hey, Indigo says, when you can put together a comprehensive sentence, then talk to me. That sentence made my brain explode. Hey, shout out to you, Indigo. I think that if you have the lack of comprehension skills, you should just admit that and not project onto me. You see what I'm saying? It's the reason why I've been able to build an international following, because the words and the comprehensive sentences I'm able to put together, people are able to pick up what I'm putting down. So instead of saying it's not comprehensive, say, A, you're not able to comprehend the analysis I'm creating, or B, say you disagree. You feel me? This right here to me is one of these tactics of the Western world, and it's really showing like you probably agree with that alpha male bullshit, huh? You probably an alpha male that's stuck in captivity, and you're not trying to take this free game I'm trying to give you for freedom. I don't like that. That's wild, actually. It is wild if you ain't comprehending this sentence I just gave your ass. I think that you should take that up with the public school education system you came out of and not with consciously. But hey, man, I'll keep on moving and grooving like an Austin Powers movie. We understand, don't trust. So, listen, hey, Bella, right here. Right now, we just engage in getting content. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times when trolls come into social media, you have to recognize and see the position that people in, let them play that position. You feel me? As a content creator, I know whether you hating on me, whether you talking shit about me, whether you applauding me, whether you affirming me, whether you saying preach, all those comments add weight in the algorithm. You feel me? So whether you talking shit about consciously or praising consciously, and you making a comment, hey, I appreciate you for the engagement. It gives weight to the algorithm. A lot of times, most trolls are insecure alpha male, alpha women people that need some attention. So sometimes I like to create teachable moments out of giving motherfuckers the attention they seek. You see what I'm saying? I see it as being mutual. You want some attention. I'm trying to, make content into teachable moments and shit. We all get the benefit. You feel me? But shout out to you, Bella, for, for dropping that down. I just like to be able to make sure we got some understanding what's moving on and what's going down. Bella, Bella, I understand. Bella, good. We good, Bella. I was trying to explain the way in which I use trolls in social media. You feel me? I'm not going there, Bella. I apologize if it came off that way. You feel me? I'm being passionate and letting you know the way in which social media works is that really everybody trying to get some attention, myself included. To me, the distinction becomes, what are you willing to do to get some attention? And I think this is when I get back to what I was talking about, the idea of being an alpha male. To me, I think that in social media, we all are clout chasers. The question is, what are you willing to do for some clout? Some individuals are willing to sell their integrity or their own damn mama for a little bit of attention or a little bit of followers or a little bit of views. What I recognize is alpha males can be the individuals that identify as alpha males can be very smart in other instances and very deep in other instances, but literally drown in their own shallow understanding when it comes to understandings about masculinity and sexuality, because you think about it only from a shallow understanding that's self-serving. You feel me? When Dr. Umar says that he is not married, when he will have two queens, to me, it's just like, God damn, my boy. As a pro-black man that's married to a racially ambiguous black woman, I find it funny that you are able to make this claim at 50 years old. You ain't never been married to a black woman or nobody, but you're able to make these dogmatic claims about the relationship that you should have to black women specifically through marriage. But you're adamant about not getting married. That's weird to me. You see what I'm saying? But hey, man, it is what it is, I guess. Regardless of how you feel about that, the point of this video is to dispel the misinformation around being an alpha male, giving you the origins of it, showing you that the specific scholar that said that, hey, man, this is how animals operate with each other. And there's one animal, one wolf that's more dominant and more aggressive than the other wolves. And the other wolves just comply with this. He realized those wolves was in captivity. A lot of individuals have they models of manhood from people from people that's in captivity. That's weird. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. What we scrolling up to? Oh, Indigo was defending. Oh, listen, man. Hey, Indigo. If you was defending, I apologize right now. I'm just turned up, and when I'm turned up, I like to just go like, you see what I'm saying? So I apologize if you was defending me and I came at you like that. But every lesson I put down and coming at you, I think it still stands. I just apologize that it came off so aggressive. You feel me? And it's ironic that I'm talking about aggressiveness and being aggressive, but hey, that's how I go though. You feel me? Sometimes we can be so indoctrinated by what's going on in terms of how we respond to people. Even when we're indicting it, we see how we implicate it in it. But I think that real scholars and real philosophers are able to understand how they can give an analysis and understand how they're implicated within the analysis. Because many individuals like to have a anthropological European understanding of what's going down, when you take yourself outside of the shit that's going on. You feel me? I'm giving you a analysis about how the world works, and I'm implicated in position within the world. You feel me? So for me as a scholar, as an educator, I always wake up in the morning and think like, damn, how can I know more about myself and know more about how I'm lost in the sauce of aggressiveness and masculinity and heteronormativity and sexism and all this shit than I did the day before? You feel me? And what I understand is that it's a lot of individuals that have their personhood and defined around denying other people's personhood. You know what I'm saying? Or we have individuals that have their personhood defined and being above somebody else's. You feel me? And I recognize how we all can be seduced by that type of power and domination. Hence the conversation being about, hey, domination, power, and masculinity, specifically when it comes to black men. You see what I'm saying? We know that even in today's times, a lot of the monstrous ways that black men are correlated to wild shit, it comes from a history of seeing us as being irrational, seeing us as being brutes, seeing us as being unable to control ourselves. And I think that we should be careful when we're trying to use these alpha male metaphors to prove our manhood and masculinity. Because what we know is that how white men are able to move and navigate around the world as men is not the same way that black men move around and navigate as men. And I don't know why that uniqueness falls down when we come across a concept of ideology like alpha male shit and you want to eat it up. Like that shit's weird. You know what I'm saying? So again, I want to apologize to Bella and to Indigo. You know what I mean? And apologize for coming at you in the way that I came and the way that I responded. But what I said, I think that it still has credence to it. You feel me? Specifically, when we start thinking about captivity, masculinity, and how it relates to other people. You know what I mean? I feel like real enough to be able to acknowledge when I'm wrong, acknowledge how I could go further, and acknowledge when I, you know what I'm saying, come up short. You know what I'm saying? Let that be also a teacher moment for other people that's watching. You feel me? Like if you first time watching my content, your first time being familiar with me, I'm an individual that believes he knows a lot, but I don't think I know so much where I can't be wrong or I can't be called out, or you feel me? I don't think I know so much where I can't misstep. You see what I'm saying? And I think that that's the reason why I come at people the way I come at people, because I feel like I'm already giving you the benefit of the doubt and the passion. You feel me? I'm already giving you the credence. And that's the reason why I think when brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson are able to talk about their relationship to the entirety of the community, and then they're able to make claims that either A, is tasteless to most of the community, or B, is devaluing most of the community, I think that calls into question your pro-blackness. You feel me? I feel like a lot of men that talk about the pro-blackness, they usually create distinctions between being ratchet and respectable. You know? And when you create those type of distinctions between being ratchet and respectable, we see how you start to fall prey on everything I just said above, you know. But let me get back to this comment section. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Indigo. Hey, Indigo. Listen, I really apologize. I'm not gonna block you. Let me apologize. I really apologize. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't. You know what I mean? Like, listen, come back. You know what I mean? Don't block me. Come back. You know what I mean? Come back. You know. Yeah, man. I'm just in the comment section now. What's the alpha male writer from 1970s actually went against his own writing on alpha males again? His name is Dr. Beck or Dr. Peck. If you go back in the video, you can check it out. Definitely. I can't even think of it. My mind right now is racing. My mind racing. I ain't even gonna evoke anything else. Yeah, sounds like Dr. Umar Johnson doesn't want to unlearn the ideas and support patriarchal repression towards other people. Hey, honorable. You know what I'm saying? Honorable answer. Hey, listen, when I come back to Chicago, we're gonna link into. I agree with you. I think that a lot of people like to use pseudo-intellectual claims about the laws of nature to justify them being fuckboys, or justify them being womanizers, or justify them being, you feel me, dominant, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know, obliterate everything in they, you know what I'm saying, in a path. You know, like, I think that's what it comes down to. Is that even when you think about it from a European perspective, most European doctrine around patriarchy tries to justify itself with the anthropomorphized understandings of nature. that says that, hey, men are always already supposed to provide and women are always supposed to be a nurturer because I seen this displayed in nature. And we understand those are usually snapshots of how nature goes, and it makes it where you universalize that snapshot that creates a whole bunch of violence and ignoring really what's really going on. I love talking respectability politics in the Black community. Hey, Dominique, being real though, respectability politics is what a lot of alpha males operate off of, and that's really what I think that I hope that's understood in this, right? Respectability politics a lot of times will make it where oppressed peoples or peoples that are seen as being, you feel me, underprivileged or under-resourced are supposed to always already conform to the people that are privileged instead of just challenging the standard in itself. So to me, it's like usually when you see alpha males talking about masculinity and relationships, they're usually telling women how to be women. I'm gonna repeat that. When it comes to respectability politics, I would define respectability politics as when oppressed or underprivileged people are expected to conform to the expectations or standards of their oppressor instead of challenging it in itself. Most alpha males subscribe to an expectation of womanhood that says, hey, bitch, in order for you to be seen as a real woman, you got to be a woman the way I say you're going to be a woman. If you're not a divine woman. You're not an alpha male. You're not being a good woman, and you're not deserving of being with an alpha male. That is literally the logic. I'm an alpha male, and I'm high value. If I'm an alpha male that's high valuable, whatever I say, go. That's simple. That's simple logic. That's literally the way it goes. And you know what? If you're on YouTube, you can literally go to any manosphere, any misandry video, and you can see the logic. The logic says, hey, listen, man, I'm an alpha male, and I can knock down. Hey, listen, I'm slanging that dick, enough wood to build a fence. And I can build as many fences on many yards as I want to. But if a woman had too many fences built around her yard, it's not a super protected yard, it's a used yard. I'm an alpha male. It's expected that I sleep with a whole bunch of women. But if a woman sleep with a whole bunch of men, she be in X, Y, and Z. And this is what I know how it's crazy, right? How people be indoctrinated. It's going to be niggas that interpret what I'm saying as being simping. And I think it's like, listen, fam, if you don't have the equipment to fit the job, you should just say that instead of slut shaming this woman. You believe she might have more experience than you opted in for, and now she got too many dicks to compare yours to. So now you really worried that your shit might be subpar. It might be under average. You might not be slanging that thing like you said you do, and she got a lot of different examples to compare it to. Instead of you acknowledging that, you like, man, I don't want no hoe. I don't want no this, that, and the other. And what I've learned at being 32 years old is that a lot of niggas that say they don't want hoes be the main ones that wipe up the hoes. You see what I'm saying? But it's literally playing this respectability game that says that, hey, I'm going to tell women how to be women while saying I don't love hoes when I love hoes, but it's hoes and this, that, and the other. And to be clear, too, disclaimer, I'm pro-hoe. I'm not talking down on hoes at all. I think if you feel liberated, and I'm all for liberation, you feel me? So whatever makes you feel liberated and it ain't stepping on the earwood of somebody else, do your thing, baby. You feel me? Shit. Hey, do your thing. What I recognize in terms of alpha males, though, to the point is you have a contradiction. You have a contradiction that says that, hey, when white supremacy in terms of race, when white men try to tell me how to be, I'm going to question them and they can't tell me how to be. But when I want to prove my maleness and my masculinity to the white man, I'm going to do the exact things the white man do to me and the exact same things that white men do to their women to prove my maleness and my masculinity. I call that plantation patriarchy. When you got to exert your manhood and your masculinity in ways you seen displayed on a white man by the white man on the plantation. It's like, I ain't got time for that. You see what I'm saying? And that's weird to me. But, I digressed again. Oh, I'm going too hard. I agree to a certain point. I'm not pro-ho. Hey, listen, Ken, when I say I'm pro-ho, what I mean by that is I'm pro-sex worker and I'm pro, you feel me, women specifically being able to do what they want to do, how they want to do, when they want to do it. You feel what I'm saying? Pro-ho to me means that I'm not going to infuse my understandings of respectability or my understandings of value when I see a woman or a man going out and having as much as what they want to have. You know what I'm saying? I recognize there's a stigmatization that go against being promiscuous, being called a hoe, being seen as a hoe. And I would argue that a lot of those instances is even more pervasive when it comes to women. Because what I know is being a man, especially a man from the hood, hey, listen, man, a woman can have on a turtleneck and skirt that go to her, you know what I'm saying, her knees, and nigga call her a hoe. You see what I'm saying? I know we can be, a woman can have on bikini, titties out, and all that, and nigga will call her a hoe. So when I'm talking about being pro-hoe, I'm recognizing from a certain standpoint that there are always already ways for an individual to deploy hold'em on anybody they see as being, you know what I'm saying? You get the point though now, right? I hope that cleared up specifically what I mean by pro-hoe. Pro-sex work, pro-women being able to express themselves sexually however they want to express themselves. You see what I'm saying? I don't buy into the respectability ratchet shit. You feel me? I'm a nigga that understand too. Speaking on what I spoke on earlier, it's a lot of alpha males that's trying to prove their alpha maleness by trying to humble Meg Thee Stallion. You know what? It's a lot of alpha males that love to prove their alpha male by trying to humble a black woman. And it's usually a black woman that's going to be hood, that's going to be unapologetic, that's going to be not giving a damn about the respectability politics. Those are the women that alpha males always seek to want to tame because it's a challenge. You feel me? It's like, oh, I get to really prove my manhood and really exert my authority on this bitch right here. She's gonna comply to me. You a city girl? Or you a hot girl? Or you don't want to listen? Oh, you ain't never had a real nigga like. That's what a lot of y'all doing. Oh man, party must not be no alpha male because that's what y'all doing. You see what I'm saying? And for me, it's like I'm so comfortable in my malehood and my masculinity. I don't need no animal metaphors to explain my shit. I don't need no animals or metaphors to be able to illustrate my shit. You see what I'm saying? I'm willing to invest myself in the ways in which masculinity can be expressed to understand the way I want to express it and get the possibilities for expression. But I digress, you know. Did I hear? Hey, not only did I hear Tory Lanez's dad, I felt like the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. You see what I'm saying? I think that the way in which, back on this alpha male shit too, the way in which a lot of my fellow black male counterparts justify fuck shit of other black men because that black man got done some injustice or was trying to do some good for the black community is wild. You feel me? Tory Lanez's dad acting like Tory Lanez is Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, and he's just been held, he's just been unfairly convicted because he was trying to do some stand-up shit for the black community. He wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Alpha males right now being like, man, how y'all supposed to be black and y'all are celebrating the demise of a black man? How y'all supposed to be? I ain't never seen so many people so excited about a black man going to jail. Man, the black man you defended shot a black woman, man. So his freedom is supposed to come at the expense of her being shot. A lot of alpha males are going to go to the grave believing Tory Lanez is a victim of injustice. A lot of those alpha males, especially in the black community, will have all the sympathy and empathy if a rapper, especially their favorite rapper, gets grazed by a bullet. Those same individuals, those alpha males that have all the empathy and sympathy when a man has bodily harm to them, is the same alpha males that ignores how this woman was a victim of being shot. And I believe it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. Your understanding of what it means to be woman has to be where it's like, yeah, listen, man, if a bitch want to be with me, she gotta be with me. I want to be with her. And I gotta be able to tame her. And a lot of y'all, because y'all feel like Meg Thee Stallion is untamable, y'all justify the violence that's being brought to her body. Ratchet versus respectable. Well, she slept with Ben Simmons, and she slept with the baby, and she slept with Tory Lanez. So obviously, Tory Lanez didn't shoot her. hey, listen, man. Generally, I try to have respect for the dead. You know what I mean? Generally, right? Kevin better roll, though, goddamn. Kevin better roll. Kevin put a lot of batteries in a lot of folks' backs that really is crazy. And this the part right here. The thumbnail of this video got Dr. Umar Johnson on it. Dr. Umar Johnson then went at, you feel me, Kevin Samuels about his high value bullshit, right? Where it's like, you know what, Dr. Umar? Clock being right twice a day type shit or being half right. Listen, you right on this one. But to me, it's weird that you are able to make the claims and able to have this critique and acknowledgement about how he said this in Dr. Umar Johnson's words was it's divisive. I would say divisive, but you know, I'm a country ass. I got no business trying to tell somebody how to speak. He said that Kevin Samuels was being divisive. And his ideologies were very divisive amongst the black community. Listen, man. If you acknowledge that black women outnumber black men 3-1, and then you push ideologies that are either A, black women that you say acknowledge outnumber black men 3-1, disagree with you, or B, they say what you're saying is dangerous for them. It's like, really, what we saying? What you doing? Like, how is that going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you be for the community and you go out the way to disrespect this much of the community? So we can acknowledge that black women outnumber black men like 3-1. And we also can acknowledge that amongst black men that are gay black men, they're bisexual black men, and they're, you know what I'm saying? Think about the ways in which a lot of that alpha male bullshit or a lot of the quote unquote hotel bullshit disavows and or marginalizes black LGBTQ and black women. So how can you be for the community and you're disrespecting 1/3 to 2/3 of the community? How? I think that's wild. Like, yeah, I ain't even gonna beat the dead horse and circle it. I just think that's wild. That's preposterous. That's that's asinine. You for the community and you disrespect, you feel me? This many is like, I don't know what we're doing with that, man. But I've been live for a little bit of now. Consciously, can you go to Sonetta and debate this point? Is much needed. Hey, I'm gonna be real with you, Kenya, man. A lot of the ways that I think, you feel me, even though I would say that a lot of what I'm passionate about in some way, shape, form, or fashion was ignited by the conscious community. I acknowledge as a 32-year-old where I'm at right now, I'm going to disagree with a lot of niggas that'll be over there with Sonetta when it comes to gender and when it comes to sexuality. You see what I'm saying? I move on a different frequency when it comes to that shit, right? I understand that a lot of my pro-black brothers and sisters understand that white supremacy was trying to attack black masculinity and the black family. So they see any devoid of production or any devoid of, you feel me, black man not being masculine, they see it as an attack on the black community. So I understand for a nigga like me to go over there with Sonetta talking about Dr. Umar Johnson being understanding manhood through captivity, or talk about, you feel me, the way in which black women or black LGBTQ people should be respected, they gonna turn me off automatically. You feel me? And one thing I know is that at 32 years old, I like to protect my peace, and I don't like to fuck with people that already show me they're gonna be dedicated to misinterpreting what I'm saying and or not understanding what I'm saying. And I think that when it comes to a lot of that, maybe it's in bad faith. And you know what? If somebody from the side of the channel or whatever, they can disprove me, I'll be willing to disprove. But I feel like a lot of those conversations happen at bad faith. And I think that because I'm already coming at other resources that they would throw out the window and make it where I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to have them conversations being real. You know what I'm saying? I'm always down for a good debate. You feel me? I think I'm a bad motherfucker when it comes to being debating. I don't give a damn what you. I think I'm a bad debater, right? I think I'm a smash, you know. But I also recognize now that I'm like when I was 22 going hard at policy debate in college, at 32, it's like, you know what I'm saying? What do I stand to gain? What do I stand to lose? And what's really coming out of it? You feel me? And I think that when it comes to a lot of my fellow black man counterparts, A lot of them get their sense of self by denying other people of their selfhood and their personhood. And shit, I feel like that's an argument that I usually make when it comes to a lot of the Black conscious community. You know what I'm saying? Sadly, but shit, I stand on that 10 toes though. Like, yeah, you say you fuck with the Black community, but you only fuck with Black folks that fuck like you and that praise the same God as you. And when a Black person don't fuck the way you think they should fuck, or don't praise the way you think they should praise, you invalidate their entire Black experience. And it's just like, I don't rock with that. You know, I'm an educated that like to cuss and talk shit. You feel me? I don't do the respectability politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm an educated that understands the ways in which the Black trans, Black queer, Black lesbian, Black people that came before me was able to also contribute to the liberation of Black people. You feel me? And I know that when it comes to what's going on these days, a lot of Black women and my trans sisters and my gay brothers be on the front line a lot more than a lot of straight cisgender niggas. You feel me? And me even using the terminology of cisgender to people, like, I know it turned them off. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it turned them off, you know? But hey, man, shout out to you. Appreciate you. Education is elevation. Shout out to y'all for chopping in. You know, yeah, I'm thinking about calling my new segment Office Hours. And I'll just do this whenever I feel like it impulsively. You know, I got ADHD. I work off impulse. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'll be doing it. You know, I'm not trying to be reductive. You know what I'm saying? So let me retract that statement. But I do work off impulse, and I will be doing more of these. You feel me? So for people on YouTube and the people on Facebook, you know, I'm going to create a poll where you can tell me the other topics you would like for me to explore, the other topics you would like to me to jump in. You know what I'm saying? This time, I feel like I didn't present as much research as I feel like I would like to, or maybe I could have. But I think that the point is understood, and I gave y'all different books and resources and authors for you to not take my word, but look it up, because, you know, my motto is research over me search. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you, V. Appreciate you, V. Definitely. Hey, thank you, Ronnie. Hey, I appreciate you for checking it out, man. Make sure y'all check out this other video I made today about Black people being American-centric and acting like our white American counterparts, only seeing the world through the perspective and values of America. That shit is bad. Don't do that. You know? With that being said, though, for real, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all. Shout out to everybody in the African diaspora. Hey, listen, like, share, subscribe, go back in the video, the part of the video you like the most, screen record that and repost it to Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Should I reshare it? You know what I'm saying? Holla at you, do me a favor, man. You know, again, like, share, subscribe, holla at your boy. Education is elevation. Let's see if I can end this out smoothly.
Me, my guys, we ready.
COE. Cool. This for anyone who thought I'd ever fall off. 50 points with no assist, bitch, I'm a ball house.